What to do if he hasn't texted in a few days? 1. Do nothing. It's only been a few days, that's really not that big of a deal, especially if you're not in an official relationship yet. A while back I went on an explosive first date with a guy. The date lasted 6 hours. I got home around 2 a.m. and we texted a little more, and then we texted the entire next day and for the next few days. Then we had a second date. This one was a little more down to earth but still amazing, but I didn't hear from him the entire next day. Then I didn't hear from him the following day. By mid-morning, I started to panic and felt sick to my stomach. This guy and I had a lot of history and I really wanted this to work out. I couldn't concentrate the entire day, I could barely walk in a straight line. I felt like I had been slapped sideways and everything felt off. I kept thinking about what I did wrong on the date, what I wished I had done differently. I berated myself for always screwing things up, for not allowing good things to enter into my life, for always sabotaging my chances at getting what I want. I even called Eric, our resident Ask a Guy here on A&M because I just couldn't get out of my own head and needed a different perspective. And just when I finished telling him the whole story, just as he took a breath and was about to give me his insights, the guy texted me a casual, "Hey, how's it going?" I felt like an absolute idiot. And in case you're wondering how it turned out with him, we're now married with 2 kids. A lot of us make the mistake of preemptively panicking. We have a fear, in this case, a fear of causing him to lose interest, and we become hypervigilant to the point that if anything happens to indicate our fear might come into fruition, we pounce on it and panic. If you've been on a few dates, relax. Okay, fine, maybe he texted you immediately after those other dates and the fact that he's being silent seems odd and out of character, but it's just him relaxing and being his normal self. Most guys prefer not to be texting all day because that's a nuisance and it makes it harder to focus on all the things going on in his life that aren't you. In the beginning, he'll text all day because he's trying to win you over, but once the dust has settled a little, he can dial it back. The mistake a lot of women make is interpreting this dialing back as a sign he's losing interest. 2. Set a panic deadline. I know that not hearing from him for 2 days can be panic-inducing, but it's really not a big deal and it really doesn't mean anything. One technique I used to use when insecurities and worries got the best of me was to set a panic deadline. I would tell myself, okay, I'm not going to be upset about this right now, but if I don't hear from him by the end of the week, then I will allow myself to be upset about it. Most of the time, you'll hear from him before the week is up and the problem will solve itself before you even get the chance to be upset about it. If you don't hear from him by the end of the week, then you can decide what to do. Do you want to just let it go and accept he's not the guy for you? Do you want to try shooting him a friendly text? The choice is yours. I would just caution you to not invest too much in the outcome. Don't strategize ways to win him back over. Just be cool and casual. If he's receptive, great. If not, just gracefully let it go and accept that this just wasn't the right one. 3. Keep perspective. If a guy ignores your texts or stops texting you altogether, all it means is that he isn't the right guy for you. It doesn't mean you're flawed or damaged or ugly or dumb or unlovable or unworthy. It means nothing really. You can't know what's going on in his head. Even if you come out and ask him, he won't give you the full story because the full story is most likely that he just isn't interested enough to want to pursue things further, and this will hurt your feelings because it's a hurtful thing to hear from someone you like. But again, it's not personal. We're all looking for different things, and sometimes everything syncs up and it's a match, and other times it doesn't. Sometimes both people can see this and the part amiably, and sometimes only one person sees it and the other person gets hurt. If you take it personally, you're only hurting yourself and sabotaging your chances of finding that happy, healthy love you want. If you decide you're unworthy because he rejected you, then you will go out there seeking to prove your worth, and you will measure your interactions based on whether or not they give you that shot of validation. This is not a healthy mindset, so please don't go there. Just hold your head high and accept that this just wasn't the right one for you, and it doesn't mean anything about you.